Hello everyone. I realised that this month is Brain Injury Awareness Month, and I have what I believe is a brain injury and not a vision condition. This is the only way I can explain it. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments if you think this is a brain or eye problem. Now, I'm sure everyone here at some point has played the game of memory. And no, I don't mean pairs, the game of cards that people play. I'm talking about the game where they put things on a tray, show you and say, have a good look and memorise everything in front of you. Then I'm going to put a blanket over it and I'm going to take something away and you've got to tell me what's missing. If you can remember, that's very good. And when you give them the signal, they then put the blanket back over and they take something away and they show you again. And they say, what's missing? If you get it right, they go, hooray, well done, that was correct, here it is. Now imagine waking up in the second half of that game. You know something's missing. Your brain tells you something is missing, but you can't figure out what it is. Maybe because it's in your room and you know something is missing. It's either obviously missing or you know that something that should be in spot number 1 is not in spot number 1. You've looked, you've moved things around and you're scared to make a sweep of the area, say a table, in case you knock something off and break something. That's me. I'll give you an example. Here is my medicine pouch. I can see it very clearly in front of me. If I look away and that pouch is tilted on its side or it's moved maybe even an inch from where I left it, I may not see it, and there could be, from what I can see, an empty spot. It is there, but I can't see it, and I'm assuming that's to do with the brain injury that I had since I was a child, which is why I'm talking about it this month. It's not an eye condition, I don't think, because it's not that I can't see it. It's not that I can't see what's in front of me. If I don't wear my glasses, I can hardly see anything. I have very blurry vision. That's an eye condition. I'm not a doctor, which is why I'm speaking to people on the internet. But this brain condition has been with me my entire life. And as it's Brain Injury Awareness Month, I want your opinion. We've got a lot of eye things in my family. We've got glaucoma, we've got cataracts, and I know that going blind, according to Pete Gustin when he was explaining what blindness is, it's like parts of your vision disappear, but that's not what's happening here. I could look away and look back, and the thing I'm looking for is right in front of me as if it was never gone. And it's not just things, it's people, animals. I'll give you an example. My brother, when he was little, had one of those little Tikes cars with the removable roofs. I used to love those ones when I was a kid. Well, we had one in our house, and when he was little, he loved that car, and he was small enough that he could sometimes move it around with his little feet sticking out, like little kids do. Except, here is the funny thing. He was in that car. I knew he was in that car because cars don't move on their own. The only people in the family who were in the house were all present, and there was no way anyone else could have maneuvered the car. Plus, I could hear him laughing, but I just couldn't see him. And everyone else was telling me, his feet are sticking out of the car. How can you not see that? And I said, I can't see him. I can't see what you're talking about. I was looking at the car. I saw the car moving. It was almost like a joke, like someone had managed to control the car remotely. If it wasn't for the little giggles I heard coming from that car, you would think that the car was moving on its own. It was so perfect. I had to look away and look back about 3 or 4 times until I saw him. And then, even just to double check, he just popped up at the top of the car like, hi! I was like, where did you come from? Because from where I was looking, you weren't there a minute ago. Obviously, common sense told me that he was there, but my brain didn't see him, and that's terrifying. It's one of the reasons I had a service dog, because if you can't see things that are in front of you and they're big and huge, like a person, that's not good. It used to happen to me when I was out, and Jack had a method. He would notice when I hadn't noticed something. Then he would just walk to the corner and sit down. That person would walk past me and I'd probably hear them coming and be shocked, like, where did you come from? But at least I was out of the way. Or he would just jump on my foot like, Mum, duh! But because that didn't always help, 9 times out of 10, he would just go, hold on, I'm just going to sit next to the wall. It's like my brain switched off, but only for certain things. This is why I'm funny about road crossing. Imagine if that happened with a car. It's not that I can't see things in front of me. Glasses fix that. It's that my eyesight decides to be selective. I also won't hear cars coming if I can't see it. It happens with objects, as you've seen, but also it can be triggered by stress. I used to have seizures as a child, so I don't know if my brain spazzes out for a second and it's like, we're going to delete this from your eyesight. And it's not like a Where's Wally situation where it's right there in front of you, but you just can't see it because everything's busy. No, sometimes it's been the tidiest place ever, and yet I still can't see it. Even, for example, my phone. The best example of this situation was when I was looking for my phone, because Jack needed the toilet, and he knew my routine. Grab the pouch, grab the phone, put the phone in the pouch, put the headphones through the slot and clip it to the phone, then put on all of Jack's things and take him for a walk. Right? Except we were still stuck at stage 2, which was grab the phone. Because I couldn't find it, he knew where the phone was, but because he considered it an extremely dangerous device, he refused to touch the phone. So he touched me with his nose and then he pointed. He's like, I'm not touching that thing, it causes cancer. And if a dog is telling you that your phone is dangerous, then maybe the whole cancer thing is probably true, but that's another video for another day. Jack never went near microwaves or anything either, but that's another story which, if you want, I will tell. Let's just get back to this. He refused to touch the phone because he didn't like it. He didn't like the microwaves, I'm assuming, because he was the same with other similar devices. So he touched me with his nose and then he pointed at the phone. I saw an empty space, so he touched me with his nose and then he pointed again, and I still didn't see it. This dog had the patience of a saint because he did it 2 more times, pointing with his nose and then pointing at the invisible phone. Point again, and it's there. And he's looking at me like, at this point, I was just gonna pee myself there. I'm not touching it. I don't want to have cancer. It was there the 4th time, and it was like suddenly this thing materialized. You would think that there was a prankster in my house putting my things there. Seriously. And he's looking at me like, for goodness sake, Mum, you didn't see it again? I nearly peed myself. What's wrong with you? Then we went for a walk and didn't think of it again. But I think that was when he realised I couldn't always see things. So he did the same thing with humans and lampposts, which I didn't always see. And yes, that includes not seeing the shadow of the lamppost either. It's so weird. I've missed human beings who are bigger and wider and taller than me. Not because I'm not paying attention, but just because I can't. As this is Brain Injury Awareness Month, I thought I would talk about this very peculiar condition. I'm going to tag a doctor in this just to see if he knows about it, because I don't know anyone else with it. And if anyone else has a condition like this, maybe it's related to epilepsy I had as a child and my brain spazzes out for a second and goes, oh, you're not seeing everything. Oh, you're not seeing everything today. Because I have heard people say that you can't see, even when your eyes are open, you don't see all the time. I have heard people say that, and maybe that's just it, and I'm just more conscious of it. I don't know, but I do notice that it's more triggered by stress than anything else. If any doctors see this video and you have heard of this condition, if you know what this is, if this is related to aphantasia or epilepsy or anything like that, please let me know, because this has been my life. It's one of the reasons I'm not able, for safety reasons, to walk by myself outside. What if I didn't see or hear a car coming? Again, I could just make a sweep of the area, but if I can't feel it until maybe it falls down and breaks and then it appears unfortunately smashed to pieces, that's not the way to go. So I can't do a blank sweep across the area in case I knock the thing over. So I would like your opinion. Obviously, I have been to other doctors and they have no idea. They can see that I've had this happened to my brain and that happened to my brain, but that doesn't explain this. And I know that medicine is evolving and changing all the time. I'm aware of this, but this is the month to talk about it, so I'm going to. I didn't talk about it last year because I thought it would be too weird, and I didn't know how to express it. But I know that I don't know what it is. I have been checked by people who deal with brains, vision, everything. They don't know what this is. So just for fun, let's talk about this on the internet. And you could argue that if your bed's a mess, that would make sense. But as I said, you could have the world's tidiest bed and just one thing on it. And I could walk in, and if it's moved even just a little bit, or even if it hasn't, sometimes I just don't see it. It's not funny. If you've got a laptop that weighs £7, you put it down on the bed and you can't see it, and you sit down and then crunch the thing, you know my touch isn't as affected, which is why I can knock it over and break it, but I don't want to risk doing that. And I think it's also one of the reasons why I like to have everything in its place, and why I come across as a bit of a perfectionist, and why I don't like lending my stuff. Because if I lend my stuff and then I forget, I'm going to think my eyes are playing up, so it can appear very much like, oh, she doesn't like sharing. Oh, she has a problem with sharing. No, I don't have a problem with sharing. If I had guaranteed vision, even if it was poor, but it was guaranteed vision, then my stuff wouldn't disappear around me, and I'd probably be like, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, this is the weirdest thing. I think it's a brain injury thing that happened since I was a child, but I've been to doctors since then and they really can't tell me, so I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's so weird that you would think I was faking. I wish I was. The amount of things I've broken, the amount of people I've trodden on, the number of times I trod on the pets because I didn't see them, you know? And there are some obvious things, like if something is black on a black table, sometimes it can blend in. If something is colourful on a dark background, sometimes it's easy to see. But if it's black on black, or brown or really dark brown on a black background, sometimes I don't see it. For example, I have a black laptop that I've got on a black table. Sometimes I cannot see that, but I've just made it a rule. I'm not doing a sweep to Serge in case I break something, because I've cut my feet too many times. But anyway, you let me know what you think. Yes, this is weird. Yes, I believe this is a brain injury. But if you're still here, you're handsome and you're beautiful, and well, I'm speechless. I'll let you know next time I see you. Over to the pets. Hello all, this is Sylvie. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more. Hey everyone, my name's Bonjour. If you enjoyed yourself, then give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and if you had fun, then comment down below and let my mum know when was the last time you lost something.